Hello, welcome to Yoga at Home with Natasha. Today we're going to work on a sequence especially for abs. So we'll start lying down on our backs, just with your feet placed on the ground in alignment with the hips, not too close, a little bit further out. And just place both your hands on your belly. Roll your shoulders underneath you, try to relax your forehead and your face, and try to take a big deep belly breath. So really release your belly, inhale. And exhale, release everything. Again, inhale, feel your belly expand. And exhale, feel it contract. Once again, inhale, let your belly expand. And exhale, contract. Now you're slowly just going to sort of roll your pelvis forward and release your pelvis just a few times. So you really want to press your lower back onto the ground. We're going to try this, different ways of doing this. So we're just really going to try keep the lower back pressing on the ground. So just release it, inhale. And exhale, roll your lower back onto the ground. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Now keep this connection. Bring the hands with the fingers interlaced behind your neck. So you're really going to support your neck. Keep the elbows really wide. Take a big inhale so your lower back's pressing onto the bench, pressing onto the mat. And on the exhale, you're going to connect your floating ribs. So your floating ribs are on the side at the end of your rib cage, down towards your pelvis. So it's like a V shape all the way down towards your pelvis. And this is going to lift your head straight up to the ceiling. So the elbows stay wide. And we're just going to stay here a little while and breathe. Keep contracting the inner thighs, so keep engaging them. Just keep the chest as open as possible and really relax your head and your neck against your hands. So you're not lifting up with the head and the neck. This is really important. You're really using the abs to lift up. So really press your head and your neck back into your hands and just breathe a few times, trying to relax the face as much as possible. Really relax everything. And slowly come back down. Once again, inhale. Exhale, press your lower back into the ground, lift up, connect your floating ribs down towards your pelvis and lift up. And just breathe, let's say 5 long breaths. Try to lengthen through the cervical spine. So don't lower the chin down, just try to push back as if you're pushing in a drawer. Keep your shoulder blades down. And release. This time now we're going to lift the knees up, the legs up over the pelvis, but you're still, if you can stay at 90 degrees, stay. If you need to tuck in a little bit, tuck in, and the same thing. So lift up, exhale. Keep the chest as open as possible. Keep the left hand behind the neck and just reach the right hand out to the right. Exhale and come back. Now change sides. So keep the right hand behind the neck and reach the left hand to the right. And come back. And we're just going to alternate. So really try to keep the head and neck heavy. And each time you come back center, you can, if this is too difficult, release the head and lift up. And come back. Inhale. Exhale to the side. And come back. And exhale to the opposite side. And come back. Keep going. Exhale, side. And come back. And to the opposite side. And release. So just take a moment, release everything. And now we're going to go into the full yogi bicycle. So you can either have your hands behind your neck the whole time and just bring the elbow to the knee while extending the opposite leg, or you can do it with released arms, whatever works best for you. So lift the head and neck up. We're going to extend the right leg down. So it really varies what level you're going to keep it on, depending on where you can keep your lower back in the ground. And bring the opposite elbow towards the knee, the left knee. Come back. And exhale, change. And come back and change. And come back center, lift up, and exhale, change. Come back center, lift up, and change. Come back center, lift up, and change. Come back center, lift up, and change. And last time, come back center, lift up, and change. Release everything, place the feet on the ground. Just let both knees fall to one side, the hands on the belly, and look in the opposite direction, just to stretch out the belly a bit. Then slowly let the knees fall to the other side and change, look in the opposite direction. Now you can grab behind your thighs, and we're just going to roll up and down the spine a few times to come up into all fours. So roll up and down the spine once or twice, and then come all the way through into all fours. So really build your tabletop position. Place the hands underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers, press into the fingertips. The knees are in alignment with the hips. Lengthen out through the spine. Lower the belly, so now you should feel a big belly stretch after those abs. Reach the chest forward, push the sit bones back. Really try to reach through the belly, lengthen, and then push the ground round through the back. Exhale, push into the ground and look at the belly button. And inhale, reach forward. And exhale back. Inhale, reach forward, and exhale back. Now you're going to come into tabletop position. Straighten the left leg, push the heel back, and lift the left foot up. Reach forward with the right foot, reach in both directions, push the heel back, reach the fingertips forward, and bring the right elbow to the left knee round into the back. Try to bring the heel up towards the sit bone, and then reach in both directions. Inhale, and exhale, round into the back. Inhale, reach, and exhale, round into the back. Try to stay as high as possible. And slowly release to the ground, opposite side. So straighten the right leg, reach the left arm forward, lift up the right leg, and exhale. Bring the left elbow to the right knee, round through the back, and inhale, reach in both directions. So push the heel back, reach the fingertips forward, lengthen through the belly, and exhale, round. Inhale, reach, and exhale, round. Round into the back as much as possible, and slowly release the knee and the hand back towards the ground. Now tuck your toes under, connect your rib cage, lengthen out through the back of the neck, and lift the knees up for 5 big breaths. Inhale. Keep the cervical spine long, so try to keep the eyes in the front of the mat. And then come into downward facing dog. When you get into downward facing dog, turn the big toes slightly inwards, the hands facing outwards, and just pedal a little bit on the spot. Shake the head yes and no. Try to really hug the lower ribs in as much as possible. Now bend your knees, really bend your knees, bring the belly towards the top of the thighs, lift up onto your tippy toes and roll forward one vertebrae after the next into plank pose. You can adjust your stance if you need to. Now inhale and exhale, bring it back into downward facing dog. Bend the knees, draw the belly towards the top of the thighs, roll forward into plank. Breathe. Connect the rib cage, inhale, and exhale, come back to downward facing dog. One more time. Bend the knees, draw the belly to the tops of the thighs, roll forward, push the heels back, keep the rib cage connected, and come back to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, we're going to lift the right leg up to the ceiling. So push the heel back, reach up, try to keep both the hips parallel to the ground, and we're just going to draw a circle. So you're going to bring the right knee to the right elbow, to the center, to the left elbow, and reach it back. Push the heel back. Now to the right elbow, center, left elbow, and reach back. Last time. Right elbow, center, left elbow, reach back, and this time you're just going to step the right foot forward next to the right hand. Keep pushing the left heel back. You're on the toes. Create space in the spine. Try to pull the right hip back, create a little bit of space in the belly, and then lift the arms up to the ceiling in high lunge. Try to really rectify the position of the pelvis. So if it's opening to the side, bring it forward. You can bend the knees slightly behind you. Lift the arms up to the ceiling, connect the rib cage, and you're just going to send your hands out behind you. So reach your fingertips back. Try to feel like your spine is a long pole. Push the sit bones back, push the top of the head forward, lean forward, keep the rib cage connected. Breathe. Continue to breathe. And then we're going to open out into Warrior Two. So really, pull the left hand back over the left heel, reach the right fingertips forward, and breathe. Now start straightening, so you can make it a little bit smaller, the position, if you want to. Start straightening your right leg by pulling up the knee. So you're not blocking the knee, just pull up the muscles on top of the knee, and then lift your hands up to the ceiling as if you're holding something between your hands. Start to send your left hips back behind you, and we're going to do a variation on Trikonasana, so on triangle pose, where it's almost like you're holding something in the hands and reaching forward. So you really have to engage the ribs and the abs. Reach forward, lengthen through the spine, and breathe. Keep drawing the lower ribs down towards the pelvis. Breathe. If you can go further down, you can try. And then draw everything back up to center. Come back to Warrior Two. Reach out through the fingertips and dive back down into low lunge. Open the chest, reach forward, place both hands on the ground, and take a step back with the right foot to join the left foot. Bring the weight forward, bend the elbows, and lower all the way down towards the belly. Press the tops of the feet into the ground, and just straighten the hands at the sides of the body. Press the palms down into the ground. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, release. Inhale, lift, and exhale, release. Last time, inhale, lift, and release. Bring the hands underneath the elbows, underneath the shoulders. Really dig the toes down into the ground and lift up into plank, and bring everything back into downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Lift the left foot up to the ceiling. Push the heel up to the ceiling. Breathe. Try to really keep both hips parallel to the ground. And now bring the left knee to the left elbow, center, right elbow, and back. Push the heel back. The left elbow, center, right elbow, and back. Once again, the left elbow, center, right elbow, and back. And then step the left foot up next to the left hand. Roll the shoulder blades back, create space in the belly, pull the left hip back, bend the knees slightly behind you if you need to, and lift up into high lunge. Connect the rib cage, really bring the pelvis facing forward. Now slowly lower the arms at the length of the body, pull the fingertips back and lean forward. Still really keeping this intention to pull the left hip back as much as possible. Breathe through the spine. And then lift up into Warrior Two to the side. So really pull the right wrist beyond the right ankle, reach the left fingertips forward, and breathe. Connect the rib cage. Now slowly start straightening the left leg. Pull the top of the knee up. Lift the hands up over the head. Send the right hips back behind you, and then reach over to the side as if you're holding something between your arms, between your hands, and just breathe, really lengthening through the spine without blocking the left knee. Now engage the center, come back, and come back into Warrior Two. Straighten the arms in both directions, and I'm just going to cartwheel back down to the ground. Now take a big step back with the left foot to join the right foot. Connect the rib cage and lower all the way down to the belly. This time you're going to press the hands down to the ground. Inhale. Exhale, release everything. And inhale, bend your right foot. Reach your left arm forward. Inhale, lift up. So try to lift up with the left side of the body, lengthen through the spine, and release, change sides. Opposite hand, so the left hand to the left ankle, right arm forward. Inhale, lift up, and release, and change. Just going to do it one more time on each side. Inhale, lift up, lengthen in both directions. Press the right top of the foot into the right hand and release, and opposite side. And come back. Press into the hands and just come back for a second into the child's pose. So you can have the legs together or legs apart and reaching forward. Slowly come back up, and we're going to come directly back up into downward facing dog. Bend the knees, draw the belly close to the thighs, and we're just going to roll forward into plank pose, and we're going to hold for 5 breaths. So keep the spine really long, the heels pushing back, and connect the rib cage as much as possible. Last big breath. Now you're going to roll to the outer edge of the foot. Bring the left foot on top of the right foot and lift the left arm up to the ceiling. Really lengthen through the spine. Breathe, keep the rib cage connected. Lift the left arm behind the ears and roll down opposite side. So come onto the outer edge of the left foot, the right foot on top, and lift the arm up to the ceiling. Draw the shoulder blades together. Keep the rib cage connected and breathe. Now draw the right arm behind the ear and come back down into plank pose. Roll back into downward facing dog. Now we're going to try dolphin pose. So this one's a bit tricky. If you don't feel right, just you can stay in downward facing dog. You're just going to lower your elbows directly where they are. You may have to come up onto the toes, so you may have to come up onto like a demi-point position. Connect the rib cage and just really try to draw your ribs in. Don't release your head on the ground just yet. Try to breathe. You can look between your arms, and we're just going to lift the right leg up to the ceiling. So push the heel back and breathe. And draw it down and change sides. Lift the left leg up to the ceiling. Continue breathing down in the belly. And release. Now you can walk the feet slightly further back or the elbows forward, and you'll come into Dolphin Plank. So you can take a little bit of time setting this up if you want. Sorry, my microphone cable is coming out. Up. And So you can actually start on your knees if you want. Really place the elbows in alignment with the shoulders. The arms have to be sort of like on 2 tracks, so your forearms are placed on the ground. Don't have them too close together. They really have to be at least as large as the elbows, and then you can straighten the legs back. Push the heels back. Try to really feel the connection. Lengthen through the top of lengthen through the spine. Push the head the top of the head forward. The sit bones back, and breathe. Now slowly lower the pelvis down to the ground, and we're just going to come into Sphinx pose. Press the tops of the feet into the ground, press the pubis into the ground, and then slowly start drawing the shoulder blades back and opening the chest forward. So it's not the head that's opening forward, it's really the bust. Inhale. And now exhale, you're going to round a little bit into the back, so you can even lift up the pelvis a little bit and then press it into the ground. Draw the elbows back without moving them, so just energetically, and open the chest forward. And exhale. And inhale. And last time, exhale. And inhale. Come back down onto the belly. Draw the hands underneath the shoulders. Lift up into plank and come back into downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Now draw the big toes together, bend the elbows, look between the hands, and you're just going to hop up to the front of the mat. When you arrive forward, try to release everything over your legs so you can grab opposite elbows and just swing a little bit from side to side. And release. Draw the big toes towards each other. Keep a little bit of space behind the heels, and you're going to roll up into chair pose. So reach the arms forward, draw the shoulders back, really keep the rib cage connected, bring the hands together, and bring the left elbow towards the outside of the right thigh, being very careful to not let the right knee or the left knee slide forward. Press the hands together. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, come back, center, and exhale. Now draw the right elbow towards the outside of the left thigh. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and come back center. Sit down as low as possible, reach the arms forward, draw the shoulders back, reach the arms back, and reach the arms forward and back, and release everything. Inhale, lift up, halfway lift, draw the shoulders back, push the sit bones back, and release. Now you're going to come back into chair pose, reach the arms forward, open the chest as much as possible, lift up onto your tippy toes, and slowly imagine that you're sliding down very, very, very slowly until you come to a little toe stand on top of your heels. Inhale. And exhale, round over. Come and sit down on the mat. And we're just going to do one last little series of exercise. So you're going to lift the legs up in Navasana, really engaging the lower belly down and up. So you're really drawing up with the lower belly and pushing back towards the lower back. So you're also engaging the pelvic floor muscles, and at the same time you're connecting the floating ribs down towards the pelvis. So there's an opposite sort of action going on. The lower ribs are moving down, the lower belly is moving up. Keep the chest as open as possible. Breathe. And we're just going to lift the arms up very slowly, and exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now keeping the legs at the same level, lift the arms and exhale, twist to the left. Reach the left arm behind you. Try to keep the pelvis really stable, the legs as well. And then inhale, come back center, and exhale, twist to the right. And inhale, come back center, and exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come back center, and exhale, twist to the right. And come back one more time each side, twist. And come back, and last time, twist. And come back. Recenter yourself on the mat, and just roll down onto the mat. Bring the knees up towards you, give yourself a little hug. Roll a little bit from one side to the next to massage the spine. And now open your arms out to the side, and you're just going to let both legs fall to one side so you can keep them in. Breathe. Look in the opposite direction. And then slowly draw in and let them fall to the opposite side. And we can come back center, straighten one leg, straighten the opposite leg, reach the arms up overhead, stretch the belly, flex, point the feet, wriggle the fingertips, and then bring the arms at the length of the body. And you can stay here in Shavasana for 3 to 5 minutes if you want. If not, you can roll onto the side and just come up and sit at the front of your mat. Bring your hands together, lift the thumbs up to the third eye, and you're just going to take a moment to thank yourself for this time that you've taken for you. Namaste.